Hi, Brendan.
Hi, Kat.
How's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. What are you going to teach me today?
We're going to talk about the alarms on the Talea Giro.
Okay.
A lot of customers, when they get it for the first time, it's hard for them to if they do get an alarm out of the box or down the road. It's kind of difficult for them to figure out what exactly that alarm is referring to on the machine because there's no digital readout. It's not like it's telling you something that's missing or what that alarm means. It just kind of gives you an alarm. So we're going to go over those right now.
You're going to teach us how to troubleshoot them. Okay,
Exactly.
so I guess let's take it away.
Yeah. This is a Saeco Talea Giro refurbished Talea Giro. We just took it out of the box. We're going to turn it on. And a lot of the times when you turn these on, the first thing that needs to happen is priming. So let's figure out if that is the case. They often drain the boiler, and so that alarm right there. If you see how the exclamation point is blinking pretty quickly.
Yeah.
That means it needs to be primed.
And priming is basically just pulling water from the reservoir into the waterworks, like the boiler and the...
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And the way we'll do that right now is just by turning the steam knob to water. And we should see that air go away shortly after it gets everything flowing. And it did. And now it's heating up. So it just needed to be primed. The machine didn't feel like there was any water in there. And before, just as a precaution, the machine wants to fill the boiler up and know that the boiler's full of water before it starts heating up.
Otherwise, you run the risk of burning out your element, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And now it's rinsing. Let me get some more. Now we're good. Exactly. If there's no
water... So
water...
this is just a rinse, like diagnostic cleaning thing at the beginning.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just to clean the water circuit and we're good.
What's the, what is this guy? What does that mean?
That guy is telling you that you need to take out your dump box and empty it.
All right.
And now it's on a timer. So if you're like right next to your garbage and you take this out and dump it real quick, put it right back, it's probably still going to be there because it needs to sense that it's been out of the machine for at least 10 seconds.
Okay, and it's doing it based on a count too, right?
Yep.
So if I am super clean, and after every time I use the machine, I dump it, is it going to reset it and know that? Or is it going to just still be like, no, every 10 shots I need to...
Every 10 shots it's going to tell you, even if there's nothing in there, it doesn't reset it. It's not like there's a scale in there or anything. It's actually just measuring the amount of shots you pulled. And I think
number.
It might be 15.
I think it's like 8. I think it's like 10, 8 or 10.
But you can fit more pucks in there than you could think. And it's usually when it starts topping off right around here. That's when it tells you that you need to empty it. Okay,
so if you're somebody who's dumping it each time, you should still be prepared that it's going to tell you to do that.
Exactly.
You just would pull it out, 10 seconds, put it back. That's how you reset it.
Exactly.
Now, when you took that out, though, I noticed that there was some activity out here. So when you took the dump box out.
Take a look at it.
It's like a slow roll.
Exactly. So there's the slower exclamation point. And this, like I was saying, this could be a number of things. And this is, I think, the number one thing that really gets customers confused.
Okay.
So in this particular situation, there's nothing, this part right here you call your brew unit drip tray.
Okay.
There's nothing on here that's triggering a sensor with the machine. But this is your drop box, and there's a magnet right here.
Oh.
And that's what's going on. It's sent, so I can put this back in actually without the box. And did it go off?
Yeah.
Yep, exactly, because I'm just hitting that magnet. That's all it is, so that has to be in there. But sometimes it's not that simple. You can be getting that air. Let me show you another one. This is a big one that always gets customers. And so we're right here, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna partially open the steam knob. And we should get it in the air, actually. There it is. And so it's just like half a click away. Our valve isn't even open right now.
Yeah.
It's just that there's a board there and there's a magnet on the valve as well. And it's just slipping off of that board a little bit. And a lot of times people think this is actually closed. If you can get a good look at it here.
But it really is just right a little bit over. Okay.
Exactly. And if we put it back, that air will go away.
What are some other ways I might see that slower exclamation point blink? Like if my doors are open?
Yeah, the door's open and then there's this one. This magnet right here is no longer being sensed right there.
Got it. So you don't, and that's just to really kind of protect your paws from the burrs.
Exactly. There's no actual finger guard within the hopper of this machine.
Okay.
So that's the way they kind of get around that to help
All
you
right.
out. And then just like you were saying, if your door is open, let me open the door actually. There we go.
Okay.
And there's that alarm. And then the final one is if our brie unit's just out all the way together. So I'm going to put everything back in except for the brie unit. We'll still be getting that air.
Got it. So it needs that.
Yeah, and just so you know, this is what's making the contact for the sensor and the machine. This little,
So
tab.
that needs to be there.
Mm-hmm. And then with the door, this magnet is making contact with the sensor right here.
Okay. Now, what about water? Like, is my door open on the side and my water low? Would I also get that slower exclamation point?
With this machine, I believe if anything's going wrong with your water tank, whether it's missing or you're out of water, it should just be solid. So that's what's kind of cool. If you ever have a solid exclamation point, I believe that will always be pertaining to water. Let's get the water tank out here if I can. There we go. Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, so it's solid, and it will be solid. Like I said, if the tank's just out,
if it doesn't have enough water to sense.
And the way it's kind of designed is, if the tank's out or if it's running out of water, it's kind of one and the same for the machine.
Okay.
Because this sensor right here is where it's measuring that, and as you can see, that's kind of like almost like 1.5 inches, maybe not that much, but you know. It's right about here. So when the water level gets here, it's going to tell you that you're out of water.
Got it. So water-related things other than priming, solid exclamation point.
Exactly.
Rapid exclamation point is priming.
Yep.
And then the slow exclamation point is stuff related to my brew group area.
It means you have something misplaced. It's not there, and which could be the steam valve as well.
Got it. And then what about these other guys up here? What is this squiggle here?
Oh, that squiggle is telling you that it needs to descale. It's measured a certain number of shots with your machine. It's always measuring how much you've used the machine.
Okay.
And it's telling you that you need to descale your machine. And what's really cool about the Talea Giro is it has a descale mode.
Okay.
So what you want to do is, if that ever happens and you want that alarm light to go away, you got to hold this down. And once you see that this light is just constant, it's constantly illuminated, it's ready for you to descale. And so what you want to do is just open this up, put your descale solution in there.
Okay.
And when you open up your valve, you just leave it open, and then the machine takes care of, like,
it does all of its cycle.
Exactly. It will shoot some descale out, and then it'll warm up with more descale solution in the boiler. Then we'll shoot some more out, and then after it's done with that tank, then you take it out and put a full tank of water in there.
Okay.
Put that in, and then just turn it on, and we'll do a full rinsing cycle, and won't stop. It'll just rinse the boiler.
But that is similar to the dregs box, where it's based on time, not sensing anything. So if I live somewhere with particularly hard water and I am descaling it more frequently than maybe the machine is suggesting, how is that going to impact the descale notice or the alarm? Am I still going to see it?
You will still see it,
regardless if I just descaled the day before.
Exactly.
Because it just hit the mark.
Exactly. You will still see it, and you might end up descaling your machine more than it needs to, which isn't a bad thing. Or let's say that situation that you just said happens. You descale your machine, the next day you get that alarm.
Yeah.
Feel free to go ahead and trick your machine, which is a really easy thing to do. You might have to be kind of patient, but put it back into descale mode, which is the only way you can descale your machine. And then, just do it with clean water and just rinse your boiler, which will never hurt your machine, but that first tank will, it'll do it intermittently.
I see.
And then the second tank, it will do all the way through. So you'll just kind of be giving your boiler a really good rinse.
Super clean.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. So that is sort of the alarm and error troubleshooting on the Talea Giro.
Exactly.
Thanks you, Brendan.
Of course.